Welcome to Synchronicity. That song is trying to find a musical depiction of what the energy is like. When I say energy, circumstances, surroundings, experiences. It's like why? Why is this? Is anyone else going there? Why is this? A lot of those why is this types of questions. Uh it's been cool kinda, I guess, if you're into or learning lessons over and over and over again. That just kind of feels like the thing. Anyone have a good cry to round out cancer season? That's good. I also got a little sick. That I get one cold a year. It's what I allow myself in physical suffering. And wow, I got wild. Pretty sure it's not COVID. Got it from the kids. I don't think kids get, I think it was just a regular summer type thing. What do you think's going on? We think we're going into another lockdown? A lot of people think that. We have an event planned in September. Jess, I don't even remember this is going on. This the Instagram group. I gotta get it going again. Jessa, Ramin, P, Lacey, me in Brooklyn. But Jessa planted the seed. She thinks the lockdowns are happening. Now I hear everyone saying lockdowns going to happen again. They don't want people going outside, hanging out with each other. What's up with that? When is it over? I'm not trying to take like a political stance or anything, but like when do we know it's over? It can never, no cases, no one can ever go to the hospital. What I know there's science, I'm sure there's some number that people are looking for, but it kind of also seems like no one really knows what's going on, right? Even the vaccine, people have to wear masks inside in a lot of places. No masks going on in the Hudson Valley is what I'm noticing. Once those restrictions were lifted, people are like, "Fuck this." There are people, but it's not really. They're kind of gone. People gonna have to put them back on now. That's weird, just a little bit. How does this tie in with living an unbound life free of restrictions? It's a cool little thing people are going through. How do you maximize? Where's the line in the sand for you? What do you do? This isn't like armed revolution line in the sand, but like, what do you want to do? I know when the pandemic started, was it last year? Jesus Christ, it feels like it's been forever, right? That's another weird thing. Time's just bending all around. It's like we kind of know we're just playing these video game characters or waking up in the movie every day. It's like I saw someone tweeting about sleep. Sleep is where we go to rewrite the story, and we have to load up the programs. You ever try to? I had a couple of bouts of insomnia because I slept for like 3 days because I was sick, and then I woke up and I couldn't go to sleep a few days later because my body was like, "Hey, you had enough sleep for the week, buddy. We got enough content there." So I was just up for like a whole day, and if you stay up a whole night and you're doing something, you're partying, that kind of feeling. It wasn't that. I wasn't partying. I wasn't doing anything, and I skipped one. Like mine continued. That's a weird feeling. You ever did that? I'm sure you have. You just go to the next day, no sleep. It's like what's going on? Everyone's on a new movie, you're on the other one. It's weird. Bends with reality. I recommend it once in a while. It's nice to change sleep patterns. I think it's good to get healthy amounts of sleep, whatever that is for you. But play around with it. It's an interesting tool we have at our disposal. Also, some of the imaginal stuff, that kind of liminal boundary, you can kind of start walking around in that. If you ever like really get sleep deprived, it's pretty cool. It's like you stop really giving a fuck too. You don't have time. Your higher mind is like, you know, I don't have time. I got to shut down. I can't do this for 48 hours. Fuck out of here. I'm shutting down. No way. You got this from here at weird, woo, subconscious, mystical mind. Take it from here. I'm sure sleep deprivation was a huge gateway for mystics into the unknown back still, right? It's pretty cool. This is going to be a lot of rambling. Big before we get to the episode has definitely started, but before we get to the episode, I just have to say that big shout out to the guys at Ned, right? HelloNed.com. Use the code SYNC SYNC at checkout. You get 15% off anything you order there. What would you want to order from there? I don't know, about full spectrum hemp oil, CBD oil, other things for your health. Go check them out. They got magnesium. People need that. Is magnesium a metal? You need that. Need metals. Is magnesium a metal, right? I don't know shit about shit, but I know these guys are cool and they support this show, and it must be working out for, I mean, they keep sponsoring the show. I like it. I'm also looking forward to working with weed companies. That's going to be like a real dream come true. Couture? Origin Couture. A real, also shout out to the person who realized on one of my Instagram stories this week that I did a Jamaican / Irish accent. It can kind of, if you go too heavy on the Jamaican, it can go into kind of a leprechaun thing. I don't know if that happens to you. It happened to me. Weed plants are going great. You're growing weed? Grow some weed if you can in your state. Chances are you can. It's really nice. It's a zen-like gardening, by the way. Also, very satisfying. I like the things you can eat, right? So grow cucumbers, tomatoes, basil, peppers, beans, all the yummy stuff. Fruits are cool too. Take up a little more space. But it's really nice to grow things. It's very relaxing. All right, let's get to the meat grinder energy. We didn't open this up with fun, happy times, stories of gardening and such. Shit's getting crazy. Basically, as best as I can tell, we have Jupiter, right, moving back into Aquarius. Jupiter, kind of the expansive, Zeus-like, omnipotent, Sagittarian type of energy, moving into Aquarius, right? The unbound, free, kind of like dreamy sign, right? Big shift back, retrogrades back into it. It was like, yo, I'm here, I'm in Pisces, I'm chilling, this is where I'm gonna be. No, you're going back to Aquarius. This is a big shift. A lot of people probably have picked up on some, what feels like to a lot of people, since we don't have a lot of cultural contextualization for astrological principles and phenomena. A lot of, for me, all I've been saying over the past like couple of months is like, well, it feels like Mercury retrograde. It feels like things, it feels difficult. Feels like things are getting a little more challenging in certain areas. And I was like, Mercury retrograde. It was because like, I think Jupiter, was it Pluto? Jupiter, Neptune, was it Uranus? It's going back to calling it Uranus. Sorry. I'm just doing it. Uranus. We had a good run. Now it's Uranus. All retrograding. Hardcore. It's a really like reflection time to see what's going on in your life. Where do you need to tighten up? Where do you need to improve? Where do you need to let go? That's been a big one for me. Where do you need to let go? Where do you need to relinquish narratives that no longer serve you? But really being honest about that. If you're clever, there's the kind of a rub with this manifestation stuff. When you really get kind of relatively competent at it, you get also better at potentially tricking yourself, right? Does that make sense? You can get easier to not kind of continue to investigate and be curious about what you're doing here, right? Because it's like you have this magical power, and seemingly all of a sudden, if it's not something you were kind of exposed to from an early age, right? Holy shit. This is like the intermediate kind of like steps. And I still go through this, obviously. I'm not a master. I'm not here to teach people. That's why I talk about teachers who, help me, or I glean some things from personal experiences and I share them. But, you go through this stuff. You go through this stuff to learn, and that's, as best as I can tell, that's what we're doing. We're literally led through this life pointed in the direction of things we love. We have to be able to take the step towards those things we love and really kind of move towards them in a intentional way. But if you don't do that, you're going to get rocked. It's worse to have everything you've ever wanted and lose it to never have had it at all, right? Do you think so? I don't know. There's constantly things in our lives that are like that, but I feel like that's one of the things. Like, if you really are going to walk this path of having your desires come to fruition intentionally and consciously, you're playing, you better best like that game, surfing those waves, right? How tall do you want? It's going to be a spectacular crash. So we really refine our sense of like what we're doing. I think what I found, especially the past 3 months, a lot of just like kind of what I would call the culmination, or sure fucking hope so, or the head of like a very transitional. I spoke about this a little bit on the Patreon, just kind of apologizing to patrons, being like, listen, I know it's been fucking crazy because my life has been insane for the past 6 months. Everyone's has. All pretty crazy and all self-generated. No one else to blame. No matter how many external circumstances seemingly may come my way. I mean, it's all brought on by me. It's been super intense, but as I've learned to kind of reassess and investigate instead of fighting and pushing away and trying to contort and control, shit gets a lot easier. You kind of you inevitably pop into that familiar state of being peaceful and calm. That's a nice thing. When your familiar and natural state is peace and calm, and you're feeling good and you're playful and you're curious, when that's your natural state, it's nice because you can recognize when you're not there. Now, it can also get very frustrating, and I want to talk a little bit about this. Is why I call it the meat grinder energy. You really have to kind of like, what do you do if you lose touch with that ability to kind of quickly shift yourself out of something? It's a game we all play. We get stuck. This could be a physical illness. This could be a mental ill, a spiritual thing. It could be a depression, right? What do you do when you're stagnant and you're stuck and you seemingly can't get out? The only thing that seemed to work for me is allowing myself to process what was going on. Really, I'm pretty bad at this, but eventually I don't tend to self-investigate as much as I probably should, in my opinion, but allowing other people, situations, circumstances point me in the direction of what I should be looking at. And for me, that's a lot of like, hey, dude, maybe, just maybe, take some good time to express what you need in life from people around you. Big thing in my life to be able to express that. It's a leap. I think I've led a lot of my life trying to people pleasing, right? It's an exhausting game, but you have to take time for yourself, not in a selfish way, kind of a selfish way, but in a way that really truly allows you to kind of focus on what's important for you in your life. If you don't do that, excuse me, shit will get chaotic. That's the nice way of putting it. The real way of putting it is shit is going to go so wrong. You're going to be like, how the fuck did I end up here? That's the quote. It's like there's the Larry David, you saw the Curb episode where he's in the ugly people section. It's like, how did I end up here? That's basically, you're like, well, I was holding this beautiful bouquet of fragrant flowers and now it's literally just shit in my hands. What happened? I can do no good. I can do no right. So when you're in those states, it's not, I don't think very hard. It can be difficult to be like, you know what, I'm unbound and free. I'm a limitless being with access to everything in my life. Whatever I could ever want, my dreams come true. When this, I recognize that is not a easy maneuver. But what you can do is recognize you do default to what you believe to be true. So if you inevitably believe that this is for your benefit, for you to learn something about yourself, ideally to improve your life and the lives of those around you, if you can keep centering around that, you're going to be all right. Focus on your dreams and your passions too. I mean, that's just for me, and I think I would assume for most people, it's a very critical and important thing that you express yourself creatively, whatever that looks like. Doesn't have to be public facing, doesn't have to be anything more than something that allows you to express yourself creatively, right? That could be cooking something for yourself, could be going for a walk in nature, could be writing something down. I do think writing things down is incredibly important. If you find yourself in a stuck state, uh, write shit down, write your narrative out of it. I think this is an amazing power to both uh, free and bind. Recognize that you're writing something down is such a powerful experience. It imprints things on your subconscious mind, the generator that's going on here. Um, give it a shot. Like all things, don't become overly reliant on one modality, but it's very effective. I'm just kind of going through tales from the other side on this one. Hold on, I gotta take a sip of this here coffee. I also detoxed off caffeine. It's my first day having it in a couple weeks. Fuck, it's a real drug. Jeez Louise, people out here acting like it's not a crazy fucking drug. Caffeine, man, give it a shot, ma'am. The fuck. Ah, man. I think the rest of the summer, I don't know about this lockdown shit. I think this is something that weighs heavily on people's minds. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't think lockdowns are coming again in the United States. I'm going to be traveling to Turkey later in the fall. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Will people tolerate it, truthfully? I don't know. Do they have a choice? You would like to think so, right? I don't know. I hope not. I think it's okay. I really do. Pretty sure I didn't have COVID. Definitely got sick for a few days. Wow. Boy, was I sick. Being sick sucks. It's a stupid thing, right? Really learn a lot, though. Your body will just be like, hey, guess what, dickhead? Maybe, maybe don't do that. What you were doing, whatever it was, maybe reevaluate. Maybe slow down just a little bit there, guy or gal or anything in between. It's good times. Can I make it this short of an episode? Is that allowed? I mean, we can just shoot this shit. Are we going to do a little crypto talk? We'll do a little crypto talk. I know some people hate this, some people love it. Good times in the crypto world. Is shit's gonna go up again. I really still believe, I've been saying this. I don't like to advertise when people get in and it goes down a little bit. I do think Bitcoin's gonna hit six figures. I do think Ether's probably gonna hit $10,000. Maybe not this year, but probably next year. I think it's gonna be a pretty raging bull market for a while. Shit is just, the economy is so weird. It's like so many people are looking behind the curtain of the economy and how money works, and they're like, this doesn't make sense. This is not right. How is this right? Wait, what? And then that inevitably has some effect on the, collective unconscious economic sphere. Let's say that. So it's just good. I mean, I like the server. The server for me is just, I found all of my wins, I think, in CryptoSync the past year and a half. All of them. That's a crazy feeling. When I started it, I knew everything. Not really, but I knew a lot because I had been doing it for a while. Now, I don't know shit, and I just let other people tell me stuff, and I investigate it, I research it. Firsthand experiences, we've had some great ones. It's just something to look into. It's kind of like a universal basic income for whatever you want. Money will not buy you happiness, but it will certainly allow you to start investigating what makes you happy in an easier way. When you're struggling with money constantly, it's hard to think about other shit. It's like being hungry. You're trying to think, someone's talking to you about some complicated problem. You're like, I'm hungry. I need to eat something. I can't listen to the words coming out of your mouth. I don't care. Right? It's like having to take a shit and someone's trying to talk to you about something important. You're like, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to shit my pants. So I'm going to go not do that, and then we can do this. Money is like that. But the trick is, shift your mentality, shift your kind of energy around it. Just be like, you know what comes to me? I know it's weird, but every day it's coming to me. It's funneling in. Weird. Spend it also. Make sure you spend it. Super important. Don't hoard it. It's not even worth it. Just spend it. It's so fun. This is not financial advice. This guy on a podcast told me to spend all my money. Just not all of it, but to spend it on stuff. It's good. It's good for the economy, man. No, just as an energetic principle. It's like you don't want to hoard all the love, not share it. Who wants to do that? It's lame. Spend it. So yeah, I do think crypto is going to be a pretty good thing in the coming months. It's down. It's hard to say it's down. It gets funnier and funnier every few years to say crypto is down. It's down to $40,000 Bitcoin. Ether's down to 2,300. It's not financial advice. It's kind of financial advice, but not in like take my advice. This has worked for me and a lot of other people. Just dollar cost averaging in. Don't get scared by all the regulatory stuff right now, too. People are so freaked out with taxes. Start a business, by the way. If you are on the fence and you're listening to this, start a fucking business. Go to LegalZoom or some other place. Super easy. Start a business. Get an LLC. Start running your shit through there. Trust me. It's the right move. It really is. It's easier to do than ever before. It's like, just do it. Just do it. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. You'll love it. Trust me. You get an accountant who does your taxes at the end of the year. It's great. It's not hard. It's really easy. Opens up a lot of possibilities. Just I know what it feels like to have economic pressure and then have that pressure lifted. It's really helpful. Then you have a whole other set of problems to deal with. Then you'll be like, oh shit. Money was much easier. It's like just the number I have to focus on going up. What about this other shit? Responsibility balanced with fun, honoring your inner child, but also being a parent. What? Fuck. That shit? But still, it's still good. It's all fun. We have fun here, right? That's what we do. It's pretty much what we're supposed to do. I love you guys. We're having a great time. This is it for this episode. We got some extra good stuff. Stay tuned for that event. I do believe lockdown is not happening. We shall see. We shall see. All right. We'll wrap it up. You guys are the best. See ya soon. Bye-bye.
To ask you why you use drugs. Different drugs for different things. Right now, I think it's in my interest, in ours perhaps, maybe the interest of the greater good for me to smoke a joint and calm down. It's been demonstrably proven that temper tantrums are not the best way to do interviews, and probably my life will be easier and yours too if I smoke a joint. If I were to sit here in a fit of anger and you saw me eating acid, if I were to leave and all the equipment,